KPMG South Africa is going out to improve its reputation. As of the end of March, the firm will stop all its non-audit related services to its JSE listed clients. Now, the decision follows an intensive review process, we're told. KPMG says it's seeking to improve the perception of auditor independence and to protect the interests of the public. KPMG, you'll remember, has been named in a number of accounting scandals, and that includes the one involving the SARS rogue unit controversy and the collapse of VBS Bank. For more on what this move could entail, let's bring in Professor Wiseman Nkuhlu, who is chair of the KPMG board. Prof, thanks for your time and welcome to the program. For those perhaps who don't have necessarily an idea of how these things work, what does this move entail?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayanda. This is a very important step in our journey. We embarked on a journey of renewal of KPMG South Africa in 2018. We decided to start from the beginning by reinvigorating pride in the social purpose of auditors and the audit profession and the role that KPMG should fulfill. We have been affirming and championing that an audit firm, KPMG in particular, its primary purpose is that of enhancing trust in financial reporting. In that way, serving the public interest of enhancing trust in organizations. In our deliberations and engagement with stakeholders, and also reviewing the history of the profession and the major challenges, crisis situations over the years, we came to the conclusion that the issue of perceived conflict of interest that is caused by audit firms serving their clients both as auditors and as advisors is a major issue, and that will not be able to improve, restore trust in the profession without addressing this challenge heads on. So it is in that context that KPMG has taken the decision now, KPMG South Africa has taken the decision to stop providing non-audit related services to its JSE listed clients. This is a very important step in dealing with a trust issue.
Yes.
That has been impaired over the years by the perception that auditors are conflicted.
Right. Prof, if I can come in there, do we have an idea how much this might cost KPMG? Essentially, you're doing less work.
Yeah, in aggregate terms, in percentage terms, it's not going to be a big percentage, possibly between 5 and 10%. But the way that non-audit work is managed is that it varies from company to company. Some companies have got a bigger appetite. An audit committee would approve that an audit firm can do non-audit related work up to 30%, 50% of the audit fees, and others would limit it to 10%. So it varies from client to client, but on aggregate, it could be between 5 and 10%.
Yeah, let's hypothetically say it is at about 5%. Can KPMG actually afford that, given the financial blow that was brought on by the recent scandal that was linked to the company's reputation?
Yes, this is now the issue of leadership styles and priorities. What we have now embarked on at KPMG is to promote the idea that the primary purpose of KPMG is to serve the public interest, as I've said. And if you want to be successful in doing that, you must have the trust of the public. Therefore, to be able to win more clients and be sustained in the long term, you have to deal with the issue that impairs that trust. So in the short term, yes, KPMG has not fully recovered from what it lost, business that it lost in 2018 and 2019. It's only now that it's beginning to recover. So this is going to be a further pain, but we think in the medium to longer term, this is the right step to take, because we have to restore trust in KPMG South Africa as well as in the profession.
How long do you think it will take for KPMG to return to its former glory, for lack of a better term?
Well, I'm humbled, by the progress that the firm is making. If I may just give you an indication, one of the things that I've been watching is the results of inspections by ERBA to say whether a KPMG audit quality is improving or not. That has improved, impressively, and we're making good progress in improving quality. There's evidence of that. And fortunately then, or pleasing indeed, that clients are beginning to see that. And KPMG has won major audits in the recent 12 months. And that has really given us a foundation on which to build. But really, it's going to be possible another 2 years before KPMG could fully recover and be at the level at which it was in 2017. And really, we take every step carefully because we don't want to be driven only by revenue and growth as in the past. We have to be driven by a deep commitment and pride in quality, integrity, and serving the public interest. I'm glad that we have got a chief executive who champions and this commitment to serving the public interest. And now he has managed to mobilize and invigorate the partners to actually be as motivated and passionate about approaching their business in this manner of putting upfront serving the public interest.
And I'm sure you'll agree with me, Prof, that part of reputational management is to ensure that there's accountability. What does KPMG have to show that has happened and continues to happen now?
One of these steps that we have taken on accountability is that, one, we dealt with the matter holistically. We said it's not possible to have proper accountability when partners manage themselves and also are their own board, oversee their own work, whereas they serve the public interest. That's the reason KPMG, we have introduced independent non-executive directors that chair major committees like the public interest and ethics, like audit quality, like remuneration. And we have reformed remuneration to put in the remuneration the issue of audit quality and compliance with independence rules, and their penalties when auditors fail to do that. We have actually increased those penalties. So again, in as far as the auditors that really were responsible for the scandals at the Gupta audits, as well as other VBS and so on, we have cooperated with the regulators, and those matters, some of them have been finalized by ERBA, and partners there have been sanctions appropriately, and of course the VBS issue is still with the courts.
The wording for me is quite interesting. What came out of a statement from KPMG is that these non-audit related services will only affect JSE listed companies or clients. In my mind, that suggests there are some clients that are not listed on the JSE. If my understanding is correct, what is the treatment insofar as the relationship is concerned with those entities?
You're correct, Ayanda. It only, step one, we only stop doing non-audit related services for listed companies listed on the JSE. We have got a large number of other companies, clients that are not listed. This is step one. The next step is going to be to stop providing non-audit related services to all our clients, whether listed or not. But we decided that the focus of the public is mainly about accountability of listed companies. Let's deal with that first, because again, correctly so, the majority of our fees come from listed companies. We had to show that we're serious about this, but by actually starting where what we do is going to have a major impact, and then extend the policy to other clients later on. It could be next 12 months, it could be next 18 months.
All right. You know, it's one thing to try and change public perception, and don't get me wrong, that certainly has its place. But an integral part of turning any entity around is to ensure that perceptions, even from the inside, are headed in the right direction. One can only imagine the impact that the scandal has had on things like staff morale. In fact, that had been reported in some instances. What is being done to address that facet of this issue?
No, thank you very much. Remember that to really make sure that we deal with the culture issues, integrity, independence, and focusing on serving the public interest, because the firm had tended then to focus primarily on revenue and commercial success. To change that around, we had to make sure that we recruit from outside KPMG a leader who has credentials, who would have credibility in actually changing the culture, changing the tone, setting a new tone at KPMG that is really focused and anchored on integrity, independence, and serving the public interest. So by having that champion, to me, that was the first step to do. But then in addition to that, we have been involved in intensive engagement with all our partners and professionals on the renewal agenda, getting them to own the new purpose of KPMG, the focus on serving the public interest, as well as taking criticisms and concerns of the public seriously, and make sure that we are found worthy of serving the purpose that society expects of us,
right,
of being the organization, the institution that actually protects the public through ensuring the truthfulness of financial reports.
You know, like journalists, auditors live and die on their reputation, and it's on that score that I imagine this sort of thing is incredibly important to you. Thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate your coming onto the program. Professor Wiseman Nkuhlu is the chair of the KPMG board.